Welcome to the AI Research Roundup. I'm Alex. Today we're looking at a paper from the Hugging Face trending list, published on August 28, 2025, about 4 days ago. The standout contribution is a data-centric roadmap that reframes scientific large language models as co-evolving with their scientific data, pointing to a shift toward autonomous agents that test, validate, and update knowledge. The paper is titled, A Survey of Scientific Large Language Models, From Data Foundations to Agent Frontiers. And the implications for model training and evaluation are quite significant. The survey maps datasets and benchmarks across disciplines, highlights scarcity and provenance gaps, and argues for multimodal, provenance-rich corpora and process-oriented evaluations to enable trustworthy discovery. Also, the authors shared an accompanying GitHub repo. It is a curated, MIT-licensed awesome list tied to the survey with a structured README. Listeners will find organized sections covering scientific datasets, evaluation benchmarks, and model catalogs across domains, plus trend figures, citations, and contacts. It is essentially a living index of Sci-LLM resources. Alright, Figure 2 charts the shift in scientific large language models from simple text understanding to agentic science, which means systems that plan and run parts of research autonomously. The timeline places models by release date, so capability appears to rise as bubbles move right. Colors denote domains, and bubble size suggests scale, which hints that larger, more specialized models gained flexible task adaptation. The final cluster highlights agent systems that coordinate tools and validation to close the experiment loop. So Figure 1 quantifies how research interests surge, showing cumulative publication counts that climb steeply after major model releases. The left panel tracks ARS-14 and PubMed, which rise together as milestones like ChatGPT and GPT-4 appear. The right panel follows BioRxiv, ChemRxiv, and MedRxiv, which accelerate later but show sharper growth because domain adoption lagged, then caught up. The takeaway is steady scaling of attention that spikes around widely released systems. So Figure 3 organizes the survey's scope, showing 6 scientific domains that anchor the discussion and the typical subfields inside each. This figure conveys coverage breadth, which matters because scientific large language models must handle very different data types across these areas. The wheel segments list example subdomains, from quantum chemistry to multi-omics, so listeners can map methods to needs. Together, the layout signals a multimodal landscape that demands cross-domain reasoning and consistent data standards. Well, Figure 13 maps how scientific knowledge builds in layers, which clarifies where different data and models fit. The staircase moves from factual data to theories, methods, modeling, and finally insights, so evidence flows upward while validation flows back down. The dashed workflow shows an iterative loop from data collection to dynamic interactions, meaning results continually update prior steps. This hierarchy matters because scientific large language models must reason across these levels and keep provenance intact. Alright, 2 takeaways stand out. Scientific large language models must grow with richer, provenance-rich data to handle multimodal, cross-scale science, and progress hinges on process-aware evaluations that reward reasoning and validation, not just recall. The broader implication is agentic systems that close the experiment loop responsibly. That is it for this episode of the AI Research Roundup. I am Alex. Thanks for listening.